this week is all about the luteal phase. In my opinion, the most important phase of your cycle, or the one that needs the most love and care and attention, even more than your menstruation. That's just my opinion and my personal experience. Welcome back to the creation of her. Actually, I guess today's video is not a podcast episode, so welcome back to my channel. If you have not seen this video, I talked about everything cycle syncing 101, totally for beginners. So whether you're a beginner to cycle syncing or not, the video will definitely be helpful and informative for you. But in that video, I got into depth about the luteal phase and what you need to eat, what your discharge will look like, how you're gonna feel, your hormones. Again, I'm not an expert. I have just been doing the cycle syncing thing for a while, and I do a lot of research, so you don't have to, basically. But just to sum up the luteal phase for you, this is when your progesterone increases, which leads to you craving more carbs, which I'm sure we are not strangers to, which is why it's important to feed your body properly. I talk about all of the nutrition in that video, but here is just like a little screenshot of what the basic nutrition is. You're naturally going to be a bit hungrier, and it's okay to feed yourself more. You're naturally going to want to crave carbs, which of course you can have the sweet treat or whatever you want, but it's also important to give yourself healthy, complex carbs like sweet potatoes. And during this time, your body cannot take stress that well, so listen to your body when it's asking for rest. Don't expect yourself to go full out in some kind of fitness class or running or any kind of high intensity workout. Unless you have the energy for that, then great, but don't get down on yourself if you don't. And for most people, this is not going to be the time to start projects, to have a super long to-do list, or to have a lot of caffeine. All of the things that can be stressors, whether it's boys to get them out of your life if they're stressing you out, toxic friends, anything. I remove all stress or as much as I can during this time, and I make sure that I have enough room for self-care, reflection, and literally just lazy days. I want to give you a glimpse into my week during my luteal phase, so let's get into it. But when I tell you I wasn't even gonna start filming today, if you cannot tell by my face and my energy, today is the one day, like I have like this one day every month where I'm like, yep, my luteal phase started. Today is that day. It's currently a Sunday. Thank God. I literally slept in today because yesterday I was sleep deprived and I was like, okay, let me sleep in. My sleep score was so good on my Oura ring. I was like, okay, today's gonna be energetic. I feel so ugly. I feel bloated. My energy is not good. I have no motivation to do anything. Thank God it's a Sunday. And also, like, I'm on my couch, I'm chilling, but it's like my body is anxious, and like my mind is not that anxious, but my body is anxious, which is like the worst feeling. I feel like trapped in this anxious body. I was gonna get ahead of some work today, but honestly the only thing I can think of doing is baking a chocolate cake. Tell me you're in your luteal phase without telling me you're in your luteal phase. Now, if you haven't watched my cycle syncing video, this one right here, definitely go and watch that because I explain the ins and outs of every single cycle. But I feel like the most important is the luteal phase, like the one where you need the most self-care, you need to be the most aware. And I also mentioned in that video that everybody is the word bio-individual? I think bio-individual is the word, but everybody basically is their own person. And there are general themes that we see in everyone, like throughout their cycle. If you have like a healthy, regular cycle, there are general themes throughout each phase, but everyone's gonna be a little different. Like everyone's gonna have slightly different symptoms within each phase of their cycle. So that's why the journey is so beautiful, because you get to like kind of learn about yourself and see how you react in every single phase of your cycle. Most people will get the strongest luteal phase symptoms in late luteal, which is like basically the 5-ish days before your period. Me, on the other hand, I get it as soon as my luteal phase starts. So once I start ovulating, the beginning of my luteal phase hits me like a truck, and then I kind of get the hang of it because I take really good care of myself when that happens. And then before my period is about to start, I'm like kind of chilling. I will just feel super, super fat and bloated. But like other than that, my mood and everything is fine. Anyways, let me bake while I talk. So basically, I would just get a really big dip in energy, motivation, and my mood will be kind of all over the place in the beginning of my luteal phase. So what I did in anticipation of that, first of all, I ordered a bunch of meal prep so I don't have to worry about cooking for the entire week. Like I have so much meal prep. So that's amazing because I'm already not going to want to be cooking 3 meals a day because my energy is going to be kind of low. And I'm just going to make sure that in this time, I'm giving myself as much rest as possible. And actually last week, my ovulation phase, which is where you have the most energy, really did me well because I got so much work done. So honestly, this week, I'm smooth sailing. Since it's Sunday, I'm also going to plan out my entire week as minimally as I possibly can. That way I have as much rest time and self-care time as possible. Let me show you guys what I'm making for the next like 4 days, or maybe it'll last like the whole week. Probably not. I'm making this keto chocolate poke cake that I found on Pinterest. I'm obviously not keto, but it's just like a healthier option. It's more whole foods. Obviously, like, have the dessert, have whatever on your luteal phase, or honestly anytime, any day. This is just like a less processed option, because if I'm already feeling kind of bad, I don't want to feel worse with processed food, just because I know personally how my body reacts to a bunch of junk. Let's make this cake. Another thing about the luteal phase, girl, I literally have the hunger of a linebacker. I don't even know what this meal is. I just know I need to eat now. I made a homemade cottage cheese bagel, which actually turned out so good. I just shaped them weird because I was lazy. And then I also made homemade buffalo chicken dip, which I've seen everywhere and I never made it, but it's honestly so good. And this is probably my 100th meal of the day. Literally, the cake is baking right now. I cannot wait for that to like come out. I have to eat now. Okay, we have a chocolate buffalo chicken cottage cheese bagel. Send help. She might be small, but she's thick. Sounds familiar. Okay, the cake is done. It's out. Honestly, it's looking really good. And this entire cake is like 4 servings. Obviously, like, you couldn't eat it all in one sitting. It's happened to me before. But basically, I'm just gonna... Oh my gosh, wait. It's beautiful. It's like spongy. I only did half of the serving size because what if I want to make like another dessert in a few days? So basically, I'm just gonna poke a bunch of holes in it. And then I have never done this, but I made... This is like keto or whatever, but it's just a healthier chocolate syrup. I don't know, but I made that, so I'm proud of myself. And basically it's a poke cake, if that's what they're called. And then you basically just put holes and pour the syrup on top, so that way the syrup like goes through the holes and it seeps in, and then the entire cake is like super moist. I'm not even kidding. I don't even think about desserts like this until my luteal phase hits, like, and it gets real, like it gets real serious. I will be dreaming about different things I want to make. I'm gonna let the syrup seep in. I'm gonna put this in the fridge because I feel like it would just be better the next day, and then we're gonna try it tomorrow. It's the next day. I'm not gonna lie. Well, one, I feel a lot better. I'm on FaceTime in the background, so ignore that if you can hear it. But I did last night, in fact, dig into the cake, and must I say, it is delectable. I know it says keto, you know, healthy or whatever. I don't care. It's so good. And we're gonna get another piece right now. Look at this. Look at her. Oh my gosh. I've made plenty of healthier versions, regular desserts, healthy desserts. Like, I've made it all. This honestly has to be top 5.
You guys, it's Wednesday. If you hear kids playing downstairs, don't mind that. There's already like a school right in front of where I live, which is so cute. But I'm sitting here on my balcony and I'm like, why am I so sad and why am I so hungry? I took my morning routine. I had a really big breakfast. I had snacks and it's only 1 p.m. I am like literally ravenous. I want to eat all the snacks in the world, and also I look cute. I feel cute. I've done everything right to set myself up for a good mood. And I'm like, okay, maybe the luteal phase is really hitting hard this month. Tell me how I just go to the bathroom and I start spotting, which means that tomorrow I'm gonna like literally start my bleed. Here I am thinking I am in my early luteal phase. Babe, 2 days ago when I started this video, I was like 2-3 days away from my period. Usually my cycle is like 30 days, but I guess this time my cycle was like 23-24 days, which again is still in normal range, but that's really interesting. But I technically haven't started fully bleeding yet, and this video is still all about the luteal phase, so I still want to get into all of my tips and how I had set myself up for success in this phase of my cycle. And I want to show you some footage that I took earlier in the week, just like a little mini montage vlog of what the luteal phase is like for me.
I just got back from my workout class. It's giving red, it's giving she worked out. Ideally, I did not wake up with a lot of energy today, but since I'm in my luteal phase now, and also just because I feel like I've been way too dependent on caffeine recently, you could see the pimples coming in, girl. I am just cutting out caffeine for now, like not only because I'm in my luteal phase, which you probably should, or at least like lower caffeine in this phase, but also just because I don't like being dependent on caffeine, and I know I have natural energy if I let it come out. So I had no energy going into this workout class, and it was a running class of all things, but now that I finished it, I feel so good because I pushed myself and my natural energy came out. I do this hack if you're ever trying to quit caffeine: go to like a really hard class, do like a HIIT workout or run or something that like exerts a lot of energy. You are not gonna feel good in the beginning, but then once you finish it, you have like all of these endorphins, and it's a good hack. And now I'm not gonna have a headache later. So I want to make a luteal phase smoothie. I want to show you guys what I'm putting in it. Okay, don't make fun of my lack of a blender. I literally use a pot and like a handheld blender. I was like, what's in there? It's a banana. Okay, we're doing half of a banana. It's just because like I know I'm gonna move. I don't even have space for a blender, and like honestly, this does its job. So I'm putting half of a banana. I'm gonna put the rest of this frozen spinach that I have, and then I'm gonna do organic berries. I'm kind of just gonna measure with my heart. Lastly, I'm gonna add some cocoa powder and then some collagen, a tablespoon of almond butter, probably some cinnamon, and then I'm gonna blend that with almond milk. Oh, and I'm also gonna add 2 tablespoons of gluten-free oats. You guys, that literally just spilled. Like, anywho. Obviously, I'm not crazy. I licked it off the counter. Yes. Stop it. I'm done right now. I'm done. In all seriousness though, this is probably one of the best smoothies I've made in a very long time. I'm gonna sip this, call my mom, and we'll talk about it. Okay, that smoothie, which I absolutely devoured, and now I need to go deep clean myself because I spilled it everywhere, including on my body and my clothes. But we had in there berries for the antioxidants, we had banana for the carbs, as well as oatmeal, and then also I just wanted to make it a more like complete meal because I was craving a smoothie, but I want to be full. So there's also protein in there for the blood sugar balance. There was fats with the almond butter, which is great for our hormones in general, and of course some chocolate for the craving and for magnesium. Also this morning, as you saw in the little vlog, I cleaned my space as soon as I woke up because one thing about me, I just feel so chaotic, and if I'm already stressed or I cannot handle a lot of stress, having a space that's not clean just makes it 100 times worse. And nothing feels better than resting and having a restful week in a clean space. So I made sure that my space was clean enough, and then I think later today or tomorrow I'll do like a deeper clean while I still have energy. I made sure I'm well fed and my outfits are fully picked out for next week, so that way I basically get as many things out of the way as possible. And that's usually how I go about my luteal phase. I just try to set myself up for success, and I make sure that as much things are planned and prepped, whether it's meals or whatever the case, which I already have a bunch of meal prep and frozen meal prep, so I literally won't have to cook or buy groceries for the next 1 or 2 weeks. And now I can just focus on whatever priorities I have for the day, and then after that just rest or whatever my body's feeling. You guys, this is literally how I'm gonna end the rest of my day, and I don't care. It's 5 p.m. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. All I'm gonna do is lay in bed and watch YouTube, and maybe pick out my outfits and tidy up just a bit, just so that I have less stress for the week ahead. And then like I'm already on my computer in bed, I'm gonna plan the rest of my week. I'm just getting things out of the way so my week is chill and my cortisol is low. But let me tell you what cycle syncing means to me, especially in this phase. It means that when you feel like your body's crashing, like you need to literally lay down and watch YouTube for 4 hours, that you do that. Because once you try and fight it, you're not going with the flow. When you literally just get on your bed and like surrender to your hormones and the change that they're undergoing right now, because right now my body is having some hormonal changes that I can't see, but I can feel them. When you surrender to that is when your body's like, okay, I'm safe. I don't have to give her a horrible period because she's setting me up for success. So today I'm taking advantage, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I am not that surprised that my period ended up coming quote unquote early, really only just like a few days earlier than a regular cycle, which mind you, the average regular quote unquote cycle is like 28 days, and I'm on day 24, I believe, and tomorrow I will start my like actual bleed, so that's like day 25. So that's like a super normal cycle. I'm literally rubbing off Rice Krispie dust off my chin because I was so hungry and snacky and down that I was like, you know what I need right now? I need to just get a bowl of Rice Krispies, dry, no milk. And you know when you like eat a snack, popcorn or cereal, whatever, like with your tongue like that, and it sticks, and you like, that's exactly what I was doing while I was watching random YouTube videos. And I'm not gonna lie, it healed me. And then that's when I went to the bathroom and I was like, oh, that makes sense. But now that I'm thinking of it, last night I went to sleep and I had like a stomach ache, but it didn't feel like something I ate. I was just having like a stomach ache, and I don't really get those, but I've had them before. And I'm like, yeah, that was definitely a period stomach ache. And I was just feeling so weird. And I was like, why do I feel like that? And then also my digestive system has been like, you know what I mean? When you're about to get your period, you either get like constipated or it's like you get loose stool. So that was another sign that I had today. And then I'm like putting the dots together and I'm like, wait, I have been consistently nourishing my body for the past almost 2 months, when before that, for like a really long time, I was restricting. I was just getting out of like a binge and restrict cycle. And at the point in my life, like a few years back, when I would consistently eat and nourish myself like a normal person, my cycles tended to be like 24 to 26 days long. And then when I went through restriction and binging, I had like longer cycles. So my period always felt like it was a week late. So the dots are kind of connecting. And I think that this is my light so really turned off on me. But I think that this is my body's way of coming back to its normal cycle that I used to have when I was my healthiest. And honestly, I love that for me. And I mentioned in my cycle syncing video that cycle syncing is so fun because you kind of have to see yourself like a science experiment and just getting to know your specific cycle. So when I'm here sitting down with you guys, like connecting all the dots for all the symptoms I was feeling, and like I'm thinking back of my old cycles and my new cycles and like how things are just connecting together, this is me like evaluating and learning my body through every single month that I experience. Like it's fun to just look at your body and look at your cycle as a scientist of yourself, if that makes sense. And on top of that, this month I was really on top of my cycle syncing. Like now this few days, and especially honestly like week before my period, I was really well fed. I was making sure that I was having enough carbs, enough healthy carbs. I was listening to my body when I needed rest. Like I think I cycle synced super good this month, and it just makes sense why, I don't know. Anyways, I'm yapping. Start to be aware of your symptoms, start to listen to your body, and I promise you it is so fun. That is all I have for today's video because, well, my period is here, so now I'm in a new phase of my cycle. And now I'm gonna go back to my cycle syncing notes and refresh my memory of what I like to do or what my body needs in the menstruation phase. If you want your own cycle syncing notes, go watch my first cycle syncing video and take your notes, girl. I made it as simple as possible for you guys. I didn't put all that fluff in there. I just put the basics that you need to know. So get the basics down first and then you go from there. If you found this helpful, if you want another vlog in another phase of my cycle, please let me know because this was actually so fun to film. And I didn't know that this would be a passion of mine, but I surprisingly really like to talk about cycle syncing because it's changed my life, it's changed my femininity, it's changed my health, and it's changed my cycles and my symptoms, obviously. So yeah, share this video if you think someone else will find it interesting. Make sure to subscribe to see more from me. I have videos and podcasts coming out every single week. I also post short form content every single day on my other ads on Instagram and TikTok at the Mia Gabriella. Follow those, like this video, share, like I said, subscribe, do what you gotta do, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.